Bulgarian President Rumen Radev stands up to Parliament and has vetoed amendments to a law curbing operations of the Russian company Lukойл in the country. That's according to Radev's official website. The president justified the veto as a guard against placing the government in functional and operational dependence on the state agency for national security, which he calls constitutionally unacceptable. Donald Trump's recent sanctions against Lukойл have caused fears that higher gas prices will lead to mass protests in the country and substantially weaken the government. Multinational energy company Gunvor has announced that it's withdrawing its offer to purchase Lukойл's foreign assets after the US Treasury refused to approve the deal. We can now cross to Kuzman Iliev, economist and a Bulgaria Can Party chairman. Many thanks for joining us on the programme. It's very good to see you. So just first of all, talk us through the consequences that would be expected if the Bulgarian government allows for external asset management of Lukойл.
Well, pleasure is all mine, first of all. In reality, you should know that the government has effectively nationalized the refinery. So just without using the word, but this is what happened, and the appointment of a special administrator with unlimited powers is unprecedented. It deprives shareholders of their rights, even the right to appeal in court, imagine. That's legal arbitrariness, plain and simple. It doesn't matter whether the assets are Russian, American, or Pakistani. Our constitution guarantees private property. This is very, very important. And what's alarming here is now that these changes, they were pushed through Parliament in a non-transparent manner, strikingly quickly, coercively, if you wish, even bypassing the opposition. So it's an outright violation of the international law, and it affects Bulgarian-Russian relation.
Yeah, the opposition has described the law Parliament adopted as a raid, a takeover and a crime. What are your thoughts on those descriptions?
Well, it's a serious problem, no doubt. Seizing the property of a Russian company by administrative force sets a very dangerous precedent. It sends the message that no one's ownership is safe, not even in Bulgaria. Not even in Bulgaria. Let me stress on that. And hopefully common sense will prevail, and the appointed administrator, so to speak, will act independently and responsibly. The stakes for Bulgarian economy are enormous. But let me stress once again that it's a serious blow. Because the refinery, it's true that it's a big price, but it's also a very complex operation. Without a strategic investor, you should know that we could face major problems. And who would invest in a country where property rights aren't secure? This creates a vicious cycle. The more instability there is in Bulgaria, the fewer the investors come, the worse the instability becomes. At a deeper level, you should notice that this is a part of the broader pillar of the Western sanctions policy. These sanctions aimed at Russia, as you know, are actually hurting EU economies, Bulgarian economy in particular. And Bulgaria now operates in an environment of uncertainty. We don't even know if our reserves will last for a month and a half or three. The refinery crisis could cause I guess, a social unrest and long-term economic damage.
If the law's sole purpose was to...
Something very important, which should be stressed, no doubt. There is a real risk Bulgaria could face lawsuits for worth billions of euros. So it's a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, if the law's sole purpose was to ensure the refinery's uninterrupted operation, what legal instruments could the government have used that would be less radical if the goal is to guarantee fuel supplies?
Well, I don't know. It's up to them to explain to the audience. They are extremely responsible. Honestly speaking, I'm afraid that they don't know what they are doing right now. As you mentioned at the beginning, the parliament overrode the president's veto, removing the state security agency from the process. This was the idea. In Bulgaria, we have a strong suspicion of political influence in the security services. So by taking these agencies out, rather the Bulgarian president tried to prevent the influence from determining who ends up controlling the refinery. This was the idea. It was an attempt to stop backroom deals and keep the process transparent, or at least less manipulated. But let me tell you sincerely that the Bulgarian society is extremely stressed.
And in the context of geopolitical tensions as well, how might this law affect Bulgaria's relations with Russia? And perhaps in terms of retaliatory economic and political pressures, might Bulgaria expect from Moscow?
As I told you, the big picture is that these sanctions, they are part of the global economic war and the attempt of America to strangle Russia. We are aware of that, but we are unwilling to take part in this exercise because we are honestly believing that the best recipe for higher standards of living and mutual cooperation is the dialogue. It's not the sanction approach. So hopefully the Russian side will understand that we're in a dire position, and our Bulgarian political elite is extremely dependent of its economic curator from US and the European Union. But the society in Bulgaria is literally in disagreement with this situation, to say the least.
And what are your thoughts on these suspicions supported by the main pro-Russian and nationalist parties that George Soros has intervened in the domestic affairs of Bulgaria?
It's not a suspicion, it's a reality. It's a network-based approach of influence. So shaping public opinion through media, through academia, business, the message is always the same. Mr. Soros affiliates that the liberal democracy and globalism are good. Liberal democracy and globalism are good. Everything else is bad. So it's a powerful narrative, no doubt. It divides our society into angels and demons, the good progressives versus the bad conservatives. It weakens, no doubt, our national identity. It promotes open borders and challenges traditional value, including Christianity, which is the fundamental pillar of our civilization, so to speak. And the influence might look soft, but it's highly effective. Over time, it creates political and economic dependence and questions the sovereignty not just of Bulgaria, but of any state under such external pressure.
Also, the Bulgarian parliament rejected the idea from the Sword Party to nationalise Lukoil's assets. Why do you think that was the case?
Well, they don't use the word nationalization, but in the end of the day, they did exactly that. They did exactly that. It's an unprecedented situation. It's extremely harmful regarding Bulgarian national investment image, if you wish. And in Bulgaria, a lot of economists and public opinion maker and opinion molder are afraid that the political parties that do that, they won't stop here. They will continue because they reached a point of no return. They are like God now. They can do whatever they want. There is no legal framework for them.
And talk us through how we've come to a point where it's possible for American NGOs to influence the future of Lukoil's assets and the process of its redistribution.
Well, they have a very well-developed network here. So they have their own ways to do that. Honestly speaking, in Bulgaria, the political control is in their hands. So this is the American, I would say more or less globalist version of American international politics, to control societies through NGOs. To control societies through NGOs. They're non-elected. This is non-democratic approach. But as I told you, it's extremely efficient, and they have their results. They steer our economy and our foreign policy in the direction they deem the best for their agenda, for their worldview, which is a globalist worldview, nothing to do with the Bulgarian traditional core value. And if you wish, the majority of Bulgarians are extremely against this type of policies.
Really great to speak to you today. Many thanks for your time. Kuzman Iliev, economist and Bulgaria Can Party chairman. Thank you so much.